All right, I will go ahead and call the meeting. And we will have a pledge of allegiance.
What's the flag today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Help us, Jesus. Amen. That's online now too, so we have 3 people online.
What's that?
So we have 3 people online. All right, roll call. Michelle Jackson. Here. Here. Jim LeFew.
Here.
Here. And David Fox.
Here.
Bob Underhill is absent.
Okay. Any conflicts today with our agenda?
None.
I'm here either. Michelle, you good?
I'm good.
All right. Pretty thin agenda there. Special meeting, just knock out a few technicalities for the last day of the fiscal year.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Agenda is passed.
No public or comment unless somebody online wants to say something.
Anyone care to speak online for public comment?
Nope.
All right. Brings us to number 7.
I was looking at the budget that Carolyn prepared and I see under Township Board Professional Services. Underneath that, they had combined everything under professional services that we had separated in QuickBooks. But they forgot the Centaurus, EPS, Visual Edge and Culligan. So those are on there with a budgeted amount, but that total budgeted amount should be included in the professional services. So, when we do make an amendment, we can go ahead and close those out and add that total.
Roll them up, you mean?
Roll them up into professional services. Yeah. And then another thing that I saw under the treasurer's department, which I already let you guys all know, that under salaries and wages, there are no salaries and wages part-time, which is what she had categorized for deputies. And there is no deputy category under the treasurer's office. So you guys don't have a budget for your deputy's pay, so we need to add that.
And then because my deputy owned taxes, her salary would come from the admin fee. So that.
No, it actually doesn't. I mean, the admin fee does cover it, but that's not, we don't pull directly from the admin fee for those departments. It just comes from all of the revenue.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, where it pulls from, but specifically, the 1% admin fee that is collected for the township is to go to like collecting taxes, assessor, board of appeals, and not including contracts. So like it would include this one side for the.
Yeah, but it does not include the assessor contract? It does include the assessor?
It does not.
It does not.
It would include like her pay, KCI, anything that has to do with electing.
And I know
So we
that
would probably have.
he has said multiple times that we can track that, but I have not found any way to tie those together.
Right.
There's really no.
So we would
for him
have
to do that.
Yeah, we would have to amend that piece of the budget as a budget amendment.
I don't.
As far as making sure that we have in the budget to cover. The funds for collecting taxes. That was.
Oh, that's all under department, so.
That was my thing, just making sure that we were all.
Wouldn't that be adding Part-time salaries and wages.
It needs to be added, yes. And I think that's something that Carolyn would have to do.
Probably.
And then farther on down, the last big question that we had was, do we separate planning and zoning, or do we leave them?
I think,
Or do we leave them separate, or do we combine them?
when I talked to Penland, she said that they're typically combined.
Yeah,
Because they're all under zoning.
we have them separate here.
I would for that to be separate,
Yeah,
and I don't see why anyone would object to
I
that.
think it's zoning and ZBA. I think zoning and ZBA are combined, but we had all three of them combined.
She
on
said
our
that
board
they're-
budget.
Yeah, so Carolyn said that you would be able to pull like a payroll report if anybody wanted to know specifically how much zoning was being paid and how much ZBA was being.
That's what I was gonna say, because we would have to create a whole
We would
separate
have-
department.
yeah.
There is already.
Or
This, planning is here's Department 701, zoning is Department 702. So they're already separated. So what you're saying is you think we should combine them, but they are already separated.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me either way, whichever way you prefer, but what Carolyn was stating, instead of having to, you know, reinvent the wheel, she said typically they're combined, at least in the townships that she goes with, and she just suggested a payroll report. If anybody's had any queries, like how much.
Yeah,
is being paid
she was saying
for
if we decide to combine them, that's how we could do
Yeah.
that.
Is just doing.
But
it.
right now they're already separated, so it would be her having to go and.
It does. I'm Switzerland on it.
I know, me too.
It makes absolutely zero difference to me.
Well, Dave likes them separated. I don't know if it doesn't matter. I mean, let's leave them separated.
I kind of like them separated just because planning is completely different than zoning.
No, they're both
I mean,
under.
they're different departments.
Well, if they were different departments, then we would have a ZBA department and then we would have a zoning department. They should be all zoning.
Well, there's zoning and then zoning board of appeals, so those
Right.
are,
It's kind of like the same thing, like
More
with
so.
the assessors, like we have the assessor, we have the board of appeals. Do you know what I
Board
mean?
of review, yeah.
Yes.
And board of review has their own, so
Yes.
you're right, yeah. So, gosh, maybe we do need to make a ZBA department separate from those two, but I'm not sure what the,
Well, I'm looking here and I don't see the ZBA on. here.
it's
So
not, it's just
not-
included in zoning, yeah. And also, she did put all of the wages for zoning, planning and ZBA all under zoning, there's nothing under planning for salaries and wages. So that will have to be separated out if we're gonna separate it, or
It says planning, salaries and wages.
you have a zero.
Oh, yeah, zero. I thought you did.
Yeah, it's there, she just didn't put any budget in there for it.
So we would have to reduce the zoning one to put some in planning. is what you're saying?
Yes, and I think that is one of the amendments that we have to make for
2025 to
Yeah.
26.
for this last fiscal year anyways, but those are the only,
Considering the.
Questionable things on this.
It's not too.
no, that's not bad at all.
So a few minutes ago, Michelle, you said you're okay with it being separated, correct?
I am totally
Switzerland.
is Switzerland on it either way.
Okay.
However, anyway, and everybody prefers, it makes zero difference to me
It makes
because
no
the
difference.
accurate piece of the puzzle is just pulling a payroll report. But again, you know,
So,
it makes no difference to me.
But when we
And
pull
I'm
a
not gonna
budget
argue
report,
about it.
Like we can pull
Yeah.
a quarterly budget report and all of that will be on there, so.
so I have a couple questions. And earlier in the conversation, you were talking about professional services and I wasn't following along. Is that at 20? That,
It's under the township board, the 101,
These things right here.
the very first page.
You're right. the-
Yep, 101, and then
Wait.
all the way down to 101,805.
Page here, yeah, these right here. She's talking about.
okay, so.
They just go into professional services.
I see. Okay, and then, we did budget 20,000 for zoning. And I see 26 right now.
Cause that's including
Yes,
zoning planning. and-
yes,
Yeah,
so that's in, I thought it's already separated right now, we have 702. Zoning, we have 701 planning. Are you saying that those are,
There's no wages in the planning yet.
okay, got it? So how much, are we budgeting for ZBA zoning and planning? What are the individual amounts?
let's see, I'm gonna pull, boy, I have it. I think I brought it with me. What we had budgeted for this year, because we did have them separate. Let me get a hold of that. We had.
Keep it down out there, would you?
Oh, here it is, sorry. Okay, so for zoning wages, we had budgeted 20,000 last year. For planning wages, we had budgeted 6,500, and for ZBA wages, we had budgeted 2,500, and I think that is similar to what she had put.
29.
The 29, that totals 29?
Yeah, that's what she's got on here.
Okay.
Yeah,
But even though that's a budget, that's not a goal to hit, I mean, we can keep it
Yeah.
less than that during the year. Or during our fiscal year, that's what we need to do, right?
yeah,
That's okay, very good.
I think in all departments, that's true.
that should be true. We're not trying to spend all that money, we're trying to. You know, spend under that, we're not actually legally allowed to go over our budget
Okay, good.
for departments.
Okay. Just a question here, okay, rubbish removal, I see it's only 1339.
Oh, she separated that into a completely separate department. What is this?
I don't know.
What department is it? Fire, that's in fire.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then, because it's not very much. Ours is more than that, much more, 25,000.
I forgot to bring the fire budget to add to this. I completely forgot about that. That was another amendment that we needed to the budget. But she did put numbers in
Can we do
there.
that in April in our first meeting,
Yeah, she has budgeted amounts in there.
or?
Yeah, I didn't look to see if they matched the budget that Derek gave me though.
Hmm.
Did you give that to her? Or maybe I sent it to her. I might have sent it to her and she might have already added it. So yeah, that is another thing.
Mhm.
I stopped at the general fund,
Mhm.
but you have the road fund on there, you have fire fund on there, you have, Parks and Rec on there. And those all were and Metro, those were all supposed to be budgeted as well. And
Mhm.
it looks like she did budget it.
Where do you see those? Here they are. Come back.
Yeah, that's Metro,
Mhm.
so you're on the Metro,
Right.
and the amount that she budgeted is right here.
Are we talking 206 or? One back?
Yeah. He's looking at,
Oh, fire departments.
No, all the way on the back.
the very last page is the Metro,
Mhm.
and she did put a budget amount in there of 12,000. Looks like that's just revenue, she doesn't have any,
That's just
yeah, that's just the budgeted
last year's.
expected revenue.
leftovers. Yeah.
And no expected expense out of the Metro fund.
And it does list the administrative fees at 47,000, and they were actually about $75,000 that we brought in admin fees.
What are you looking at?
This is why on the 25-26 budget.
Oh, 25, 26. Oh, okay, we have to finish the budget for next year first. Right, then we'll go to that.
Fire department has equipment fund, and they have, like an operational.
So just the 26, 27.
Salaries and stuff.
Yeah, this would be the operation.
And again, that has 21 or 61 for OTQ for.
Yeah, and that's why I have recommended that, you know, do you yourself or do you make a spreadsheet for, this is what came in an admin fees, this is what we expect to come out of that?
We have spreadsheets whenever we do batches, the spreadsheets break down where all the fees for taxes, where they go, and any of the administrative fees. It's all broken down. I just did the settlement today. I wish I would have
But does
done that paperwork.
Is that,
It breaks down every penny that comes in for
that doesn't
taxes.
break down this though,
It tells you what the amount of the administrative fee that we brought in.
that comes in, so
Yes.
that total amount is what they expect is going to
Yes.
come in an admin. I'm talking about. The expenses that are supposed to be allocated to that money, like. The everything to do with taxes, anything to do with assessing, all of that.
So that.
We don't have a way to track that.
It should cover, again, it should cover payroll. It should cover KCI and not my payroll is from the general fund, because I'm an elected official. But anything to do with collecting taxes.
And like Dee has said before, if we are collecting more admin fees than we are actually using, then we need to reduce the admin fees. Because we're not supposed to have extra.
But we can also utilize those admin fees in other ways. So if we do have an overage and admin fees that we haven't spent, then we could also utilize those like at tax time. Like this year, we had basically Jim working as a tax assistant for free, where if there's extra money in there, we could
But that's what I'm trying to
utilize
say,
that.
is we can't track it to know if there's extra money.
Right. We could probably do a printout, a spreadsheet. I mean, when you print everything out, that shows.
My GL numbers don't attach to
Don't
that
attach
GL
to.
number. So when I expense something that has to do with assessing or, with taxes, it comes out of that department, it doesn't come out of admin fees.
Couldn't we also spend that money on assessor?
We do pay the assessor, just not the assessor contract. I mean, some of it does come out of that fee, but again, that contract was approved by the board.
Mhm.
So, it is literally, it should be under contracts, but again, I'm just stating rather than having any kind of urge in that to go into the general fund. I mean, we have options to utilize that. So I will reach out to Carolyn and see if we can get an accurate breakdown. Because if we end up, you know, maybe we have an extra $6,000, maybe somebody, you know, during tax time, sitting in the office that you set up and being able to do the admin things that you've been doing for specifically taxes may qualify under that, but I'm gonna ask, because I'm not going to say, yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna ask, the professionals and make sure, and I'll also ask Carolyn if we can get
And
a
that's
good breakdown.
a non-statutory duty that has to have board approval for the pay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm aware of that.
absolutely.
because our person now does it for free.
Yeah. So, and then there was the one other thing that is not budgeted, and that is the IRS money that we owe, and when you look at your bottom numbers, which I don't even know if it shows that on here, does it show that on here?
And have we gotten a resolution on those? If they're going to abate? Any penalties?
Oh, I see, hold on, I'm sorry, hold on. Our contingency money, that what's left after revenue minus expenses was only $37,576.73. So add subtract from that your deputy's wages, which are not included. And I think that was the only thing that needed to be subtracted from that total, so that's 18,000, so that leaves about 19,000, somewhere around there. For contingency, that's not a lot.
Well,
So that's what we have to pay taxes on.
Well, that's why I was curious if we had heard anything from the tax team as far as whether the abatement was accepted by the IRS. We haven't gotten any more
I haven't
letters.
seen anything that they sent to the IRS, so.
So that would be, that would be something.
It's just hanging out there, and that's not like we can budget for it because we really don't know how much it's gonna be.
Right. Look, when I talked to, well, we were all on the phone, I think in that meeting, or maybe it was just Jim or talking about the, having some of the, low hanging fruit
Yeah.
on there from each quarter and kind of show in good faith that we're making an effort to chisel that down. I hate to go into any payment agreement with the IRS because penalties and fees still accrue during that time where we can get any of those. I know we can't get the interest abated, but if we could get any of the penalties and fines abated, we're at least showing good faith. And I think those, I don't have the low hanging fruit in front of me, but it didn't seem.
There was an email that kind of highlighted.
Yeah, there wasn't, it wasn't an exorbitant amount, and it definitely wasn't $19,000. I think.
It was less than 10.
Yeah, it was less than 10,000, and then that shows we've provided to them what we've done to make sure that this doesn't happen moving forward, that we've made efforts in changing how we do business. And then also it's spelling out to them, this is what happened during this time. And these are the efforts that we made. And then in good faith, we're showing, hey, we can pay these smaller amounts. And then even the biggest quarter, there was some low hanging fruit in those amounts. I don't have them with me. Maybe there's something we should discuss more thoroughly at the general meeting. We can put it on our agenda, and I would have the information as far as the low hanging fruit. You might even be able to pull it up. Do you have your email here? Where you would be able to pull out the letter that.
I might be able.
Well, that's not on the agenda though, and we have to stick to the agenda.
Well, I'm discussing that, we discuss it at our general meeting. That's what I was stating.
That's probably a good idea.
That we get into
Yeah.
the details, into the weeds on how we're gonna
I was
take care of
kind of holding off, waiting for them to tell us next steps, but they haven't really given us anything.
Well, you have to communicate with them and
Okay,
ask
so
questions.
I want to say last thing they said was they were waiting for a response from the IRS.
And you, if they get a letter, you're gonna get a letter as well.
And I have not gotten anything, so.
so are you proposing that for the
For the
regular
gen,
board meeting on
Yeah.
April 16th?
yeah,
Okay.
but we just
I
discussed.
second that motion.
It's not a motion, okay.
But if we can get that on the agenda, we can go into that,
Yeah,
dig in the weeds into that instead of
Okay,
this is what we have and this is what we owe. That's kind of. We already know we can't afford to pay it back in 1 lump sum, so. And we know we can't afford to not address it because it
right.
keeps getting bigger.
we are dealing with government, and just like everybody has to wait for us to have a meeting and discuss things, we have to wait for the IRS to do their thing too.
So I'm sure I'll see the numbers, with that paperwork and information for that board meeting coming up on the 16th of April. But, just off the top of your head, ballpark, what do we owe?
About $42,000. And then in the, state of Michigan part, they're stating now we're on the right track, but what triggered the letters for those is our payments were late. So we're gonna have to make sure that we stay up on our quarterlies, that they're not late. Cause then that's when we get willful neglect and fines and penalties and fees with the state.
How much do we owe the state ballpark?
Right now, I don't have access to the prior. Online, I think that Christine has the current online, and I was able to call in and they stated
We're
that.
current right now.
Yeah, they stated that we were current now, and
Good.
what triggered willful neglect, letters were those quarterlies were all.
Because we just created the account.
Well, for whatever reason, that's what triggered, and, you know, whatever penalties or anything like that that they chose to impose.
All right, so any final touch-ups on this, this budget?
We're talking about the current budget,
The new one, the one that we're adopting.
the one that we're.
26, 27.
So this one, so this was what the amended budget was for 25-26, which again, for 25 and 26, that those admin fees are low from what we collected. There were some on here.
I'm sorry, I know you're ready to look at that, but we have to finish this part first. Let's get this budget. Finished.
Where are the admin fees that you're referring to?
I'm looking at the 25-26 amended budget amounts that are listed as income. Because there's reimbursements that are not actually income. We spent the money out and then we took the money back in. So that was my only question. And again, like state grants with special elections, that is a reimbursement. That isn't an actual revenue. And then the admin fee, I was just stating for the 25-26 amended budget, $47,000. You know, it's actually 75,000 is the amount of money that was taken in administrative fees. So that was my only thing that pertains to the 25-26 budget.
So that's actually gonna make us look a little better in the 26, 27 budget is what you're getting at. To the tune of over $20,000.
I don't know what you're looking at, so.
Yeah, I kind of lost you there to start off.
It's on the 25-26 amended budget, lists the description of the revenue that is coming in, that we base our budget off.
Is there a GL number you,
The GL numbers are all there.
okay, which GL number?
I don't have the revenue on the amendments.
Yeah, this,
Money doesn't have the revenue there either.
That's the 26, 27.
25.
I'm sorry, I thought you were looking at this. I'm sorry, I was totally confused. I thought you were going back and forth between the
No,
one for amendments. Okay, you're
Same
looking
thing I was
here.
looking.
okay, so I'm at the 25-26 amendments, is that what you're referring to?
yes,
Okay, so there's a GL, like the third set of numbers over at the top, 702, 719, which one are you referring to? Which
The-
number?
the admin fee.
The 101
GL number is a
Oh, okay.
101-000-447.000.
Okay, so that's on the 26-27.
It's on the 25-26 amended
Amended
budget.
budget right here.
Okay,
So it's on this one, but it's the amended budget from 25, 26.
And it shows $47,000.
Administrative fees, it says 4 to 7.
Oh, the activity is the next
I see,
column.
you're looking here.
That's the
That's why
action.
she's saying 25, 26, not this, I got
The
it.
activity is the action.
Okay.
And then that 47 should be 74, you said, correct?
Because we have 3 months in
The,
The entries should be
2026.
the amended amount there under the 25-26, that's the amount that was put in the budget. That was expected. The actual is the next line, the activity, the 25-26 activity. That's what has come in.
Got it.
And then what's projected, what she put in for projected for next year is the 61,402.
Okay,
Beautiful.
so for next time we do the budget,
Mhm.
um. It would be nice to have this done in February.
Well, this was posted on the website in February. We approved this. This, I mean, I know we didn't have several meetings like we did the first time, but
We approved what's here.
Yeah,
yeah, this has been posted on the website for almost a month, couple
I
days
see.
short of a month.
I see. Okay,
And so if we look at that activity line for 25, 26.
Okay.
So, and this was another thing that I talked to Carolyn about. So professional services are at 72.5 per. Professional services does not differentiate between what we're paying that is an actual contract versus what is actual professional services.
no, because they removed contract services completely from the GL.
So when you say they removed, BSNA removed that,
Whoever did this, it had to be this.
so it had to be BSNA, because we should have,
I don't think planner.
we should have those 2 items separate. We should know what we're paying in contracts, and we should know what we're paying when we're paying a professional service, when we're being provided an invoice, and we're paying that. And I would say just by looking at this, I'm gonna have to circle back to, Dave Costs is 100% correct that we spend way too much money on telephones, internet. And I'm assuming cam is our cameras in the tune of $30,644.09. If I'm reading that is the actual
Yep.
activity.
thank you for that agreement.
That is one place that I think on our budget that we need to work on.
We definitely can't get rid of telephones, and we definitely can't get rid of internet.
No,
We
but I
absolutely
definitely
have to have cameras, but that
amount
cost
of money
is.
I know this isn't to be,
outrageous.
Right.
so for, I'm gonna ask that to be put on the agenda perhaps for the next meeting.
I think, most of the contracts end in May. For
2026.
charter.
And if you would like, it doesn't cost any money, but I could possibly, if we have everything to Chris Schaefer, I could possibly have him provide to us the breakdown, because he did go over that with you and I. That we were sold a lot of things that we really do not need to have. So if those contracts are up in May, regardless of who does it, you know what I mean, whoever provides that service, I can see us saving a lot on there. That is a crazy amount of money that we're spending.
And I don't see Spectrum in this little list here, since CPS visual.
That's the telephone internet camera.
Yeah, so again, it is, I don't know what of that is a contract, what of that is the invoices at all contracted.
All of it, it's all contract.
Yeah, they're staggered contracts.
Okay, so I think that is something that where we really need to look at, there are items we can eliminate, but there are things that we can reduce our cost.
100% behind that.
Yeah, that to me, you know, again, I have to go back to Dave
I can
brought
see
up
it.
probably 7 or 8 months ago, we were paying way too much money for those services.
I could see us cutting that in half or even less.
Yeah,
Easy.
Wait, did you know that 186 is giving the fire department theirs for free?
that's amazing.
Yeah,
When do they start doing that?
as soon as the contract ends,
Oh,
they're donating it to the fire department.
Well, that's amazing.
they said they'd also put it up at Patriot Park too, they hook us
Wow.
up with Wi-Fi up at their Patriot Park.
Last time they gave me a ballpark for a vote, it was like anything under 1,000. 800 to 1,000.
That's good. There's a little initial cost up front to buy cameras and you know, that kind of thing, I know that.
So the cameras that we have currently, I think Chris had pointed out, those we're renting or the,
Rented,
yes, there's a lot of things that we rent
yeah,
that add up in that cost that we're actually paying to Spectrum that is high. Centerra's is another, I'm not quite sure how long our contract is with Centerra's.
Oh, I haven't looked at.
That is another one that is very high. They're not local and they're definitely inconvenient. I have been waiting now for 2 weeks for them to set up my email on my laptop that I changed over to the old deputy's laptop. 2 weeks I've been waiting. I got a text from him yesterday from March 2nd. This is how long.
And you don't get a credit on the bill for waiting.
Do not get a credit on the bill. So again, expensive, inconvenient, and not local.
I'm not
So I
sure,
would be curious if we're going to discuss our spectrum versus our options. If we also kind of take a look at that as well.
Yeah, we just have to
Yeah.
get bids.
I will get out the spectrum bills when I get all that time before. I will get those back out because in there are the penalties if we disconnect early. And they were outrageous for each individual account.
Which is why we didn't.
But more, the reason I really want to do it is because I want to see what those expirations are for each one.
Oh, okay.
And see how close we are.
And a lot of those are rentals, like we are renting a lot of things.
yeah, so like 11 cameras.
Yes, because even Chris had stated like a lot of this could piggyback off of one another. It's cheaper to buy them. You don't have to always have like the top of the line like they did with our server and things like that. If you get something good and you spend the money, you have a 10-year plus life out of them. Instead of them always, here's your new upgraded, it's kind of with cell phones, like when one is outdated, you know, as soon as a new one comes up. So I mean, those are things that, I know that Dave and I both brought these up probably at our first budget meeting after we were sworn in. I really think that those are things that we really have to circle back and tackle and get out of.
We were just gonna
Yes,
stop.
get out of is key, because I'm thinking, we still have a long time on some of them. And somebody needs to look at the
27.
getting an attorney.
Yeah,
And I have a, you know, it's a whole different subject, but as far as just having one attorney, like a one size fits all, I think we need to use an attorney for whatever the situation is. It doesn't have to be the same attorney. To look at getting us out of these and start saving money immediately and let Spectrum come after us. If that's what it comes down to.
Or even being able to negotiate some of those as well.
Right.
So let's find out when the expirations are.
I will have that ready for the next meeting, but I'll remind you, please put it on the agenda.
So we can have that and some terrace does, and then if you wanna put it in there, I will reach out to Carolyn and get a breakdown. based on our documents, from the batches, what we actually took in admin fees. Because I'm relatively confident that it was 75,000, so.
Alright, anything else we need to do on this 26-27 before we give her the up or down?
Well, I believe when I spoke to Carolyn, she said the goal is if everybody is in agreement with doing monthly amendments to that budget, that she felt that passing it the way that it is, and then each month circling back and doing amendments. She said that we should be doing monthly amendments to the budget. And I think she also said that she would work with you, Jim, on doing this and how to do them.
I'm in agreement with that. Is that something we need to make a motion on and then have? Or is that the way
We
to
have,
go?
we have a resolution
Yeah,
to adopt the budget.
So we can bring it, to our general board meeting, because this week, Jim and I will be speaking with the state about any additional available funds too. Because we're gonna look maybe blanket funds towards, accounting of about $20,000 over 6 months. This is what I'm gonna ask the state. If they have the money available.
yeah, we still got phase 3 to get through too,
And we
so.
have phase 3 to get through.
Are we having a regular meeting or are we gonna just stick to the agenda? Cause I really wanna get out of here. I don't feel good and I'm tired.
Having it here till 11. So,
Okay, so.
so for me, I'm good with the budget. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a yes, I'm
I'm
go.
glad we've talked about a few things so that straightens them out and makes things a little more clear.
Yes,
And we're gonna be looking at this month, is that's my understanding?
Yes,
Yes.
we should be doing that always.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, and if
That's
this
a
thing
very
out-
minimum quarterly, I mean, if we go,
I-
okay.
I think we should discuss it at every one of our general board meetings. We should go
Put it
over
on
if there's
every
anything that
agenda.
needs to be amended.
You know? Learn how to pull these reports. And you can look at it. You should have access too.
He does.
And Jim has access, so everybody can go on there every day and look at where we're at.
Well, I'm just stating monthly for
Yeah.
the budget, that we should probably have budget amendments each month, and maybe each month it's not gonna change.
Yeah,
But then again, each month it may change.
I only say that because it took me a long time to prepare for this.
Oh, I understand.
So if you wanna do a budget amendment, which means I have to pull all these reports and do all of the digging and look at all the things and highlight and figure it out before the meeting every time. That's not gonna be fun.
I'm sure BSNA can walk
Yeah,
the
and-
others through it. It's
Literally,
pretty with
Karen,
BSNA.
or Carolyn showed me that, where the percentages are over and under.
Yeah,
It's all right
And
there.
BSNA will walk anybody through it. It comes with our service. They'll actually even log into our computers and show us.
Okay, so are we ready to ask for a motion yet on the 26-27
Do you wanna
budget?
read through the appropriations?
Yes, I can do that. If we're ready to discuss it,
Are we done discussing?
I think so. Okay,
We know that there are some changes that are gonna need to be made right away, and we're, like we also have to make
okay,
amendments as we
I'll
go.
read this very quickly. A resolution to establish a general appropriations act for Clearwater Township, Kalkaska County, to define the powers and duties of the Clearwater Township officers in relation to the administration of the budget, and to provide remedies for refusal or neglect to comply with the requirements of this resolution. The Board of Trustees of Clearwater Township resolves, Section 1. This resolution shall be known as Clearwater Township General Appropriations Act. Section 2, Chief Administrative Officer. The supervisor shall be the chief administration officer and shall perform the duties of the chief administration officer enumerated in this act. Section 3, fiscal officer, the clerk shall be fiscal officer and shall perform the duties of the fiscal officer enumerated in this act. Public hearings on the budget pursuant to MCLA 141.412, notice of a public hearing on the proposed budget was published in a newspaper of general circulation in the Clearwater Township website in February of 2026. And a public hearing on the proposed budget was held on February 28th, 2026. Section 5, adoption by budget by department. Board of Trustees of Clearwater Township adopts the 26-27 fiscal year general fund budget by department. Township officials responsible for the expenditures authorized in the budget may expend township funds up to but not to exceed the total appropriation authorized for each cost center and may make transfers among the various line items contained in the cost center appropriation. However, no transfers of appropriations for line items related to personnel or capital outlays may be made without the prior board approval by budget amendment. Section 6, appropriation, not a mandate to spend. Appropriations will be deemed maximum authorizations to incur expenditures. The fiscal officer shall exercise supervision and control to ensure that expenditures are within appropriations and shall not issue any town order for expenditures that exceeds appropriations. Section 7, limit on obligations and payments. No obligation shall be incurred against, and no payment shall be made from any appropriation account unless there is sufficient unencumbered balance in the appropriation and sufficient funds are or will be available to meet the obligation. Section 8, budget monitoring. Whenever it appears to the chief administration officer or the township board that the actual and probable revenues in any fund will be less than the estimated revenues upon which appropriations from such funds were based, and when it appears that expenditures shall exceed an appropriation, the chief administration officer shall present to the township board recommendations to prevent expenditures from exceeding available revenues or appropriations for the current fiscal year. Such recommendations shall include proposals for reducing appropriations, increasing revenues, or both. Section 9, violations of this act. Any obligation incurred or payment authorized in violation of this resolution shall be void and shall submit any reasonable official or employee to disciplinary action as outlined in Public Act 621 of 1978 and the Clearwater Township Personnel Manual. Section 10, board adoption. Motion made by Lefevue.
And are we going to get a copy of that?
I certainly can.
Yes.
I'll make one right here after. Motion made by Lefevue, seconded by anybody to adopt the foregoing resolution. Upon roll call, the following voted. And the only thing left is the ayes and nays.
I will second that.
Okay, a roll call.
It's roll call vote. David Koss,
Yes.
Michelle Jackson,
Yes.
Jim LeFew,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes. That is resolution 8 of 2026. I just,
The trustee Underhill absent this motion. Yes.
awesome. I added the deputy's wages to the treasurer's department, and that brings it up to 43,722.49. So out of the admin fees, oh no, that's not even. Cause you said your salary doesn't come out of that, just yours.
that D's comes out of it.
Okay.
So whatever D earns should be covered by the admin.
And then what about like office supplies, postage, print, publish, education? Is that-
KCI should come out of that, anything that has
That
to
would be
do
your print,
with,
publish and your postage. Yes, please.
anything that has to do with collecting tax.
I'm gonna move that to go in my book.
Oh, yes, yes, I'll give you this one back.
Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make those copies if you wanna discuss or talk about those budget amendments.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what you just talked about, Christine, for, the treasurer. What's the breakdown on that, for deputy and for the salary? That can work with you combined, but how is that being done, or the admin, I heard.
He doesn't, the deputy actually doesn't get a salary, she's paid
Well, she does.
$23 an hour, so. We had budgeted, I believe, last year, it was
18.
$18,000. So if that has gone over 10,000, then that would have to be 125, 26, and that will come out of the admin.
Well, it needs to be amended for the 25, 26.
So you
But
said,
it can't come out of the admin fee because the admin fee is not a revenue source that we can pull from.
The admin fee for collecting taxes, the 1% goes 100% towards collecting.
I know, but on our papers, it's not there in our budget. It's not separate.
But that's how
So-
it should be budgeted,
so-
it should not go into a general fund, that is according to the state.
Well, it has to go into the general fund because that's where the bills get paid out of. So it has to go into the general fund. But if you want it budgeted completely separately, it would have to become like a separate department and be completely
And I
done.
will surely.
And that's something we have to talk with Jim about because he's the man in charge of budget.
I will talk to Carolyn and Jim both, we will set up an appointment
Figure that
to
out.
speak, because I have already spoke to Carolyn, and that's where that is admin. Fees for collecting taxes should go to collecting taxes.
Oh, no, actually, last year we only budgeted 15,000
for the deputy treasurer. That's
for the
what I thought.
deputy treasurer, yeah.
And it was 18,000 the year before.
Okay, so we budgeted 15,000 last year, and then the salary for the treasurer,
She just said,
20.
17,462 or something like
which
that.
would have to be amended, and how much of that was she paid from cemetery?
17,400.
If I look at this, $115 is all she was paid from cemetery.
Is that, it's on there for salaries for cemetery, yeah.
So that would have to be amended.
That would have to be. Hi. Welcome. Okay, so on our final day of the fiscal year, went through all of our actual expenditures. And we're good on all of our departments except for the treasurer's department is $4,790 over budget. The assessor, for some reason, we didn't budget the total amount for the contract, so she's $5,875 over budget. And then zoning, if I separate out planning from zoning, it ends up the zoning department is $7,238 over budget, which makes a total of $17,903 over budget for the three departments. So I went through and looked at who was under budget, where we were under budget, and the township board department has $12,199 available. Clerk's department has $6,941 available. Elections has $13,653 available. And I think that is it. So those three departments have funds available to make amendments to cover the departments that are over budget.
We need 17,000 to cover it, so
We need almost 18,000.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. On the zoning, you said 7238, and was that just for zoning administrator, or is that for combined?
Combined zoning and ZBA, and it's not just wages, it could be office supplies, education, there's a payroll taxes were not budgeted, we didn't
Okay.
budget payroll taxes at all.
Do you have numbers in front of you to do a breakdown on that 7238 or not?
It's on here, the year-to-date actual
Mhm.
shows you numbers for, so his wages, well, zoning and ZBA wages are at 28,532, and they were budgeted at 22,500. So that's most of it right there.
Oh, okay, so like when we set a amount for an employee, like 20,000, we should say. We don't go over that.
We're
Right,
not supposed to,
not supposed to,
No.
I mean, so,
but because of the transition to BSNA from QuickBooks, it was almost impossible to find numbers. I pulled this report, and this is just from BSNA, and I can't tell you for sure if these numbers are accurate. We have on here this miscellaneous category for general government for, $144,000 worth of expenses. Yeah, it's, Department 261,
okay.
yeah, and
that's the result of BSNA.
that's the result of the conversion, and that's an amount that they couldn't tell where to put in the general ledger. So they just put it under a general government number, and then there's also the same for revenue, there's like 100, I think it was 148 on the revenue part of that.
Okay, I'm looking at Department 261,
General government,
yes. It starts at the bottom of one page and carries over to the other. Page 2 goes to page 3.
well,
And
then
I'm sorry, what were you saying about
you
this?
said 261 means 701.
Well, 261, I'm looking at, you said Department 261?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up here.
It's the middle number,
Okay, right.
I'm sorry, the
Right.
middle number is
We're
261.
on 25, 26.
It's 101,261, yeah, 25, 26.
I was on the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll help.
Okay, so, Department 261 or 262?
261,
Okay,
262 is
and
elections.
that's, all right, so that's where we have 13,653 available.
That's 262.
262 under elections, we have 13,653 available.
Okay, 261.
But I just
Oh, the 144.
ignored the general government because
Mhm.
I don't know where it goes in the budget.
Well, BSNA is incorrect. The information that was put into BSNA was incorrect and inaccurate. So we can't expect perfect numbers being spit out of it.
Yeah.
But they did balance it though, right?
At
I
this
mean,
point,
I'm thinking with those general government categories, that's what they used to balance it or whatnot, yeah.
I just know that the general ledgers that were provided to BSNA, the information was incorrect.
No, the information was correct. It's the GL numbers that they couldn't match.
The information that BSNA received from BSNA and from Plant Moran said that the information was not accurate in comparison to GL numbers per se.
I don't know, Carolyn told me my QuickBooks were perfect. So it was just the GL numbers that were,
So quick-
that's what, BSNA couldn't figure out where to put that amount. And I don't know. What it
Well,
is.
they balance bank accounts, so they balanced.
So I have a motion.
Could I just said,
Yeah.
okay, so, I think I'm caught up to what you were saying a while ago, so the 144,000, what was your comment on that?
It's a number that BSNA put in there because they didn't know where to put it in the general ledger.
I get it.
So it didn't have they couldn't tell what department to put it under,
Mhm.
or it was just a general ledger correction.
I see,
And they also did a similar number, 148,000 in the revenue side.
In revenue,
for
yeah.
Unexplained and not specifically categorized
okay,
in our current thing, so.
there would be a plus of about 4,000. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so the motion is that we take, from the overage in the board 101 account. To take 8,000 out of there.
8,000 out of the 101
Yes.
township board.
Yes.
Okay, your amendment,
We need a total of 18 altogether.
yeah. 8,000. From. Township board. Are you doing? Just a total, or are you gonna? Each
Well-
department, cause I mean, if I were you, I would say,
By each department.
by department, so treasurer's department needs $4,790.
Okay,
So you wanna move $4,790 from somewhere that has,
so we're just trying to fill the holes where
yeah,
okay, I see what you're saying.
so not $8,000.
Well, yeah, see, I was just trying to get to
To
the
the 18.
18 that we needed, I was.
Which we will if we just do it one department at a time, so
Yeah, that's
Good
good,
idea.
yeah.
that makes sense,
Let's start with the biggest one first,
okay.
which is 5875.
Okay,
The biggest one is the zoning ZBA, 7,238,
right,
that's close to 8.
7,238, I don't know, hopefully it is over those, what it said.
Yeah, that's over budget.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so take that amount from board,
From
yes, take
township
that from
board,
township board.
that,
$7,238. To zoning department. Okay,
All right, then,
next would be the assessor,
that'd be fine.
and that is 5875. Do you wanna take that from elections?
yeah, the budget says 13,653 available.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll just have to split up the last one with the,
That still leaves enough
to do.
between,
47.
yeah, the 4790
Okay,
can still come out of that too.
Okay, yeah,
So 5875 and
4790.
4790
Do you want a total?
from elections.
We're gonna be okay with elections for this, coming,
Yeah, we still budgeted the same amount. The only reason we have extra is because we had the elections that we ended up not having to do.
okay,
It's because there was nothing on the ballot for us.
okay.
So thank God. That saved us a lot of money.
So those two amounts are coming from that 13,653,
Yep.
treasurer and assessor.
And what was did you total it? Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, cool.
Um,
and 665.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that covers all of our amendments that we need, and we should be good, so when the state sees our audit, they should be like, yes, they did it. Cause that's how I feel. All right, that is a motion by LaFew to make the amendment to move from the Township Board Department, $7,238 to zoning department, $5,875 and $47.90 from elections to I'm sorry, I should have written that down, I didn't get that down. To assessor department and treasurer department. Okay. Do we have a second?
My second.
I have a question. See that?
Let's roll call vote on the discussion. Is there more discussion on that motion?
No.
Let's roll call vote then. Michelle Jackson.
Yes.
Underhill is absent. Christine Johnson, yes. Jim LaFew
Yes.
and David Glass.
Yes.
All right. Beautiful. So you'll make those amendments, the BSNA and
Yeah.
that should give us our
I think I know how to do that.
good year end. If you can remember how to do that.
Yeah. I think I have a cheat sheet that allows me to do that.
And the last thing that we have is the millage authorization request. And I just changed the numbers on this today because I wanted to have the full picture. I started doing it a couple weeks ago, but then I realized I didn't have everything in the system yet, so I wasn't getting full numbers. So I just finished this today, and this is the form that we have to fill out every year, and we turn this into the county allocation board, and they have to look through and approve this, and this is what tells them whether or not we get the full mill for our operating millage. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Just want to make sure I had that right. So, first page are just the totals, second page is the revenue, and it gives you 3 years, so it's just like our budget. It's got the previous year, 2024, year just ended 25, and then projected into 26. And our totals for those, if you look at the bottom, the revenue for 24 was $556,234. The revenue for what the year that just ended, $628,564, and the revenue, not including property taxes for next year is projected at $366,403. And then the next page is our expenditures, same thing, you have 2024, 2025, and 2026. 2024, our total expenditures were $544,009, that is actual. Year just ended, our expenditures were $636,515, that is actual. That also includes that $144,034 in the unallocated number 299. So it's a little higher than I can't know whether that was, I don't know. I really don't know. And then, expected expenditures for next year, $539,404. And then the last page are just our millages that we have. So we have our fire fund millage, which expires in December of this year. We have our fire equipment millage, which expires next year. Our road millage expires next year. Hospital is still on there, but it's not going to be added this year.
No.
And then Parks and Rec expires this year. And those are our millage amounts.
And we're gonna have to get, well. What is this, fed?
Fire equipment,
Oh, fire equipment, that one we don't have to worry about?
no,
Okay. Or the road fund for
right,
another year,
they're
but
both,
those other ones, we gotta get those.
Yep.
That, which is on there.
Just the two, Parks and Fire.
Well, wasn't there a third
I
one?
thought there was a third one.
Oh, the hospital was gonna expire.
Yeah, that is the third one, but
Yeah.
I thought there was another. I'll verify, I'll just make sure, I'll look on the 4029 and make sure I have all of them correct.
Okay.
So we are required to certify that these numbers are accurate to the best of our ability. To our knowledge, the best of our knowledge and belief, and that we're duly reporting these numbers to the board at a meeting of the township board held on March 31st. Oops, I forgot our 2026. And I think we need a motion to approve the request. We always end up with just requesting 1 mil. That's been what we've requested for years and years and years and years and years. And it was recommended that we increase that, but we're not ready to do that. We're hoping that we don't have to do that. We don't want to cause the public to have to pay more taxes to cover our expenses.
Yeah, Becker's last administration went from 0.69 to 1 mil.
Did they go up?
Yes, so that was.
That they
just-
were, that was part of the Headley rollback, wasn't it? And they just restored it to 1? I think that's what happened.
That I don't know if that was rolled back because of that or not. But. I'm actually sitting on this county allocation board now.
Yeah, so you'll.
We haven't
find
had
out
our
how
first
close ours
meeting
is.
yet, so I don't really even know what we do or how it's done, but.
I don't either. I honestly, you guys, when I started, this was handed to me, here, you need to do this report. And, turns out it's not even on the clerk's statutory duties, it's on the supervisors, but it was the supervisor that gave it to me to do. He also didn't have access to any of the numbers, so he didn't have the ability to do that. I don't know why it's on the supervisor's to-do list. He has to get the numbers from the clerk. But I had no idea. You know, I'm looking at this going, where do I find this information? How do I fill this thing out? What is this? That's a lot of blank lines to fill in numbers. And I just muddled my way through and figured out the GL numbers are right on there. And look, if you notice under the expenditures in the GL numbers, let me find it, it's on here, planning and zoning are combined on this report. Under a different GL number, not the GL number that we have, it's a different GL number, but close enough. So, yeah, once I figured out how to do it, all you had to do is go into QuickBooks, find that GL number, pull a quick report, it'd tell you the total for the year. And put that number in there, and then I could also go back and change the date of the report, so I could pull the last 2 years as well. It was, took me a minute to learn it, but I got it.
All right, so
I will make the motion that we
I was not sure.
approve the millage authorization request.
No, second.
Roll call with that.
Michelle Simmons.
Sure. All right, roll call vote. Michelle Jackson, David Kloss,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes. Jim LePew.
Yes.
Bob Arundel is absent.
Thank you for your hard work, Christine.
You're
I
welcome.
understand why you're tight, you wanna get the meeting over with.
Yeah.
On this. Probably last minute today. I mean, you emailed this over today.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just finished it today.
That's the one I signed right there, with using that.
This one, yes.
Okay.
That's my original. And then I will send that to the county and they'll be so happy. I guess I was saying to them.
There's another place on the bottom too. Oh, that's.
Oh, that's theirs, yeah. And then Jim's gonna be on the board, the allocation board, so he's gonna be there while we go through this and, or while they go through this, and he'll be able to tell us
What
what we did wrong and what we did right. Nobody's ever come back and said, you did that wrong. And then that is it on our agenda, other than closing comments.
Question on our budget. I see the cemetery here. And this is 26, 27. We don't have anything. We sent it.
Didn't put anything in the cemetery budget?
Well, yes and no.
Yeah, so
What's the GL numbers for the cemetery?
567.
Yeah, oh. Oh, yeah, 567, okay.
Oh, just the other professional services and repairs and maintenance. A little miscellaneous. She did put 2,400 in there.
Okay.
Which if you look at our actual, we only spent $1,007.90
Hmm.
this year.
That's because I molded most of the summer,
Right, yeah.
but
And I have not been separating
I
maintenance.
shouldn't say I did that, because Dennis did a lot of weed whacking too, so. I don't, yeah. We're gonna be amending every month, but I just wanted to note that we don't have too much in there. We got some things that
We
this.
usually have a whole lot of expense for the cemetery. It's maintained by building and grounds, so that's
True.
wages go in there.
Mhm. Okay. All right, well, I think we got the, closing comments from the board members, anything?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that, on our general, I forwarded to you, MCL to 11.44, so it's emailed to you. The admin fee, the restrictions and what it goes towards.
Okay.
So you'll have it, MCL
211.
to 11.44, and I texted it to you.
Okay,
And it's specifically the admin fee from collecting taxes, what those monies are utilized for.
good.
And where they're restricted to use.
So we are tracking them
I'm
exclusively?
gonna have to ask,
That's gonna have to be a
Carolyn,
separate thing that is in,
Yep.
in the program.
yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Carolyn about that. Again, I mean, we can't use it,
You could also
Like,
talk about
as-
townships.
we can't use it like as bonuses or anything like that, but any wages for collecting taxes are covered under the admin fee.
Good.
Contracts are not. And also the printing and such, it's all spelled out.
Okay.
And it does state in there that it does not go into the general fund, so I'm going to have to discuss that with her. How we should have that broken. So we shouldn't have it as a slush fund in the general fund.
No, but once you start, Dee has her hand raised. She would like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dee.
Are you ready for public comment?
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize for my voice. I have whatever laryngitis. Just to verify that my wages, I had more. If you only had $115 down for cemetery, that's only 5 hours. I had more than that, so that's wrong. Also, my wages included all the BS&A support as well. So, just to clarify that for the treasurer's budget, that that's over and above. So, of doing just my duties, just to point that out.
We should have probably not put that under the treasurer's budget then.
It should have gone under administrator when we voted on it, so.
I can guarantee that those numbers are not correct. The only balancing that's been done is for the bank accounts, not for the GL numbers. So honestly, just like we've been saying all along, our numbers aren't going to be right for a good year. So, just balancing the budget, get it done, moving on, and then hopefully next year will be a lot cleaner.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any other public comment on there?
Yeah, I have one. Would it be possible to ask for, millage, a mill, or quarter mill, or a half a mill for the cemetery? It is in a lot of disrepair, needs a lot of work, and, see if it'd pass. Even a quarter mill would help. Did you hear that?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay.
Now, Christine, you said that the cemetery, it comes out of building and maintenance,
Building and grounds.
building and grounds pays for anything to do with the cemetery. Or do we do a separate
I might have.
warrant proposed?
I'm gonna have to go back into BSNA and see how that's set up in the payroll system.
So
I
maybe
don't
that's
remember.
something we should discuss.
It might have went under building and grounds instead of cemetery.
So it might be
Yeah,
something we can bring up at our general.
Maybe that's something we can put on.
Well, we've already made the amendments, that budget
No,
is
I'm
over.
just talking about, she's asking about
As far as
doing
I know, we are.
something on that, when money going.
Oh, that, yes, yeah, that's for
I'm not.
cemetery maintenance. Got ya.
The zoning, warning or the ticket thing has been.
Folks are not home tonight.
If we get one them, we currently have one them, correct?
Michelle has a question on here, sorry,
Yeah.
the accounting books that we have are BSNA, Michelle. And we were keeping them in QuickBooks and then we transitioned to BSNA, and in that transition, it took months for us to get any kind of close to accurate numbers. And no, there's not a separate set of books that we were keeping in that time. We had no idea.
Can I
Go ahead.
fall back in just a little bit?
A question, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is that this year we are going to be experiencing a lot of very important issues. Number one, we've just seen with the pontoon rental issue. And the other issue that we're going to experience is the short-term rentals. With both of those, that is going to require some attorney opinions. And I wanted to know if within the budget, we have applied enough monies to get an opinion from our attorney, because I noticed at the pontoon rental meeting, we only got an email, we did not get a full opinion. So have we increased that budget for attorneys this year?
We have $18,000 budgeted for attorney fees.
Is that an increase?
It's not an increase, but we only used 2,800 this last year, so. That's.
I just thought
If
it was.
we need to amend it, we can later if we have the money to do that. If not, I don't know what we'll do.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
And yes, trash day is May 2nd.
Yep, that's posted on the website now. There's a flyer on the website.
Is it on the calendar? He's saying that the May 2nd and the May 16th are not on the calendar.
Okay. May 16th, what is that?
A special meeting for, what was that one scheduled for? I don't remember.
I thought it was for May 2nd.
One was septic and one was
May 16th. That's where I can listen to those meetings, get them posted. And what was the other one, oh,
Was something?
calendar on trash day?
Yes.
Yeah, I put it on the special notices, but I did not put it on the calendar.
It's probably in public notice.
Yeah, it's on public notice, there's the flyer there, but you're right, I failed to put it on the calendar, I remember I get a phone call when I was doing that, did not go back and do it.
Thank you, Doug. You did a great job. All right,
Alright, any other comments? Let's wrap this up in
no more comments for me. Motion to adjourn.
second. All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
7:30. Look at that. Good enough, guys. Thanks for joining us.